Good evening, my friends. This is Paul, and today I'm going to be reviewing to you Mario Party Superstars for the Nintendo Switch. I used to be a huge fan of the Mario Party games back on the Nintendo 64. I can't even begin to count how many hours my brothers and my friends and I would play together on our Nintendo 64, and we'd rage whenever the luck of the boards would get to be too much, and then we'd each have our niche of mini games that we were all particularly good at, so we'd be like, oh no, that's a Paul mini game coming up. And overall, it earned the title of Friendship Destroyer. Then I kinda sorta fell out of the Mario Party hype train. After Mario Party 3, I played 5 a decent amount, 7 a little bit, and Super Mario Party even less. And then Top 100, I think I just did like one playthrough and called it a day, because that game only had one board. So, Mario Party Superstars was a dream come true to me, to hear that it would be 100% based on nostalgia. 5 boards and 100 minigames, all from previous games, with some modern touch-ups. So first and foremost, this is the true return to form that Mario Party needed. Super Mario Party was a decent attempt, but a lot of the boards were really small and simple, and didn't really have a whole lot of engaging gimmicks, and it didn't have that amazing balance between strategy and luck that the old Mario Party games really seemed to excel at. You definitely need to be aware of the layout of the boards to succeed, and even the simplest boards have little bits of decision making where you really have to think, but then there's also spots that you might land on that cause a hidden block to appear. That block contains a star and there's no way you could have predicted that. Or during the last 4 turns, someone will predict, I think this 4th place person will come in 1st place at the end of the game, and then they'll just get an item to summon a star to their side. And this kind of random silly chaos is exactly what makes Mario Party so much fun or so detestable, depending on your point of view. I personally am in the camp of absolutely loving it, as it means that just about everyone has an equal shot. Granted, there are ways that you can be more likely to succeed than others, as there are mini games to play after each person has taken their turn on the board, and those can give you more coins if you win the mini games. So more coins can help you get the coin star if you have classic stars turned on. So just in case you've never played a classic Mario Party game, each person takes their turn rolling the die and moving the appropriate spaces along the board. Sometimes you'll have forks in the road where you'll have to choose which way to go. Sometimes you'll be able to make a slight decision if you land on an event space. For example, on the Peach's birthday cake board that I'm showing you, if you land on an event space, you can choose whether to plant a small strawberry so that the piranha plant steals coins from your opponents, or a big strawberry so that the plant steals stars instead. And each board is ranked from 1 to 5 stars of difficulty, and mainly the difficulty just means how many branching paths and crazy strategies do you have to employ, with the easiest, Yoshi's Tropical Island, just having 2 circles that you have to alternate between, one containing the star and one containing Bowser. Most of the time the game's boards are pretty consistent across all of them, as each Mario Party game that they're based on had different gimmicks that it introduced. For example, we didn't really have dual mini-games the same way in Mario Party 2 as they were in Mario Party 1. Yet now, across all 5 boards, you'll get into a duel with an opponent if you land on their space. You can also get special items. Most of them you buy from the shops, but you can also get them from Lucky Squares. And these items range from warping you straight to the star if you're really lucky, giving you double dice, adding 5 to your roll, and it's usually a lot of fun to just mess with the players, especially when you get the Chomp Call item, which causes the star to move to another location. That one's always a big chuckle. Now, as for the minigames, the minigames are a bit more spread out. The boards are all from the N64 games, but the minigames are primarily N64 and GameCube, although they also snuck in a handful of Wii and Wii U ones. Most of the minigames are pretty solid. I'm glad to report that pretty much all of them are, at the very least, good, and some of them are a blast. There are a couple of unfortunate stinkers in the pack. There are 2 minigames from Mario Party 1 that got in that involved rotating the control stick. And remember how Nintendo was forced to give kids a whole bunch of gloves so that they wouldn't destroy their hands by rotating the stick too hard? I was one of those kids, and I wish they would have offered me some gloves. And they still have you rotating the control stick in these minigames, albeit they have a warning on the practice screen that says, do not put your palm against the control stick. 20 some odd years too late, guys. But the classic minigames that are here are amazing. And before you start the boards, you can even choose which system you want the games on, if you want them to be more action focused. So they allow you to choose different patterns. I really like some of the games that I really like are Bumper Balls, Penguin Push, Shy Guy Says, Mushroom Mix-Up. A lot of the ones from the N64 games, honestly, are pretty good, although Mario Party 6 had a few surprising ones. Most of the minigames are long enough to not be considered micro games, but you still have to think really fast, as pretty much all of them have a timer, and even though you do have unlimited time to practice the minigames, the game will kind of sort of nudge you to be like, hurry up and stop practicing already if you take too long, so unless if you're good at avoiding peer pressure, you might want to keep that in mind. The computer has up to 4 different levels of difficulty: easy, normal, hard, and master. Generally speaking, I found hard to be the decent version to go if you want a challenge, whereas they're total pushovers on easy and normal. Master, I didn't even bother trying, because in the N64 games, they would be ruthless and seem to get all the luck, even in a minigame that was all about luck. So I didn't want to have to go through that again. In between all the boards and the minigames, you have the option to use the coins that you accumulate to buy extra stuff from Toad's shop, and you'll also gain Mario Party points, which increases the inventory in the shop. You can buy new cards so that you can create a profile of yourself so that anyone who sees you online can say, oh, this is your favorite Mario Party game, this is your favorite board, and this is your favorite minigame. You get achievements, titles meaning like you have done this in a board game. There's also the option to get stickers. At any time during the board, you can press the control stick to bring up a selection of stickers that you have, and you can buy more from the shop, and you can use those stickers to give little messages to the players, because Nintendo is still pretty pathetic at including voice chat in their games. You could say, good luck, or wahaha, or you betrayed me! And it's a decent selection of being able to say just about anything without having to rely on full sentences or using a Discord server, like my friends and I did. Speaking of which, I was actually able to play this game online with 3 other people. 2 of them were from Australia, and 1 was a fellow American like me. And our connection was virtually flawless. Only one of the minigames did we have trouble with. Generally speaking, I don't have a lot to complain about in Mario Party Superstars. If I do have things to complain about, it would be the inclusion of those control stick rotating minigames, as well as some annoying little nitpicks, like the fact that even though you can adjust the text speed, there's still way too much repeating dialogue between boards. Every single time it's the last 4 turns, Toad has to tell you, oh, guess what? Blue spaces give you 6 coins, red spaces make you lose coins. And it's like, I know already. They give you the option to say you've already played on a board. Why can't they give you the option to say, we've played Mario Party already. We don't need to know this stuff every single time. And it also seemed like when we were online, the text speed was automatically at the slowest. Maybe that's just because I'm a fast reader. But overall, I really like Mario Party Superstars. I think players who aren't nostalgic for the older games might not see the appeal as much as those who are used to the newer titles. But I still think there's a good enough variety here that even in the newer Mario Party entries that I didn't play, I found minigames that were quite enjoyable. And even though I had nostalgia for all of the boards, the nice, beautiful HD visuals breathed new life into them. And they even remixed most of the music. Although you'll be glad to know that if you don't like the music for the boards, you can turn on the classic tunes in the options house, although you can't toggle the classic tunes for the mini-games, so that seems like a little bit of a missed opportunity. So I highly recommend giving Mario Party Superstars a try. Maybe rent it first if you're not nostalgic. If you are, then heck yeah, this is totally worth the buy. Maybe not at a full $60, we don't want to give Nintendo any ideas, But I definitely think that this will give you a lot of longevity, especially if you have people to play it with and you have good internet so that you can play online with people. I think you'll be in for an absolute blast of a time. There may be some little niggling annoyances here and there, but overall I had such a fun time playing Mario Party Superstars, and I expect myself to continue coming back to this with my friends for years to come. So with that, thank you very much for watching. Let me know down in the comments if I missed out on anything or if you have any questions. And until the next time, keep the faith, stay epic, God bless, and if only real life made it that easy to be a superstar. Bye!